Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving into something today that literally sounds like the plot of a sci-fi movie, but it's a very real, very startling modern phenomenon. It's a shift that goes way beyond just the latest tech trends. It strikes right at the core of human psychology. We're unpacking the illusion of perfect connection and looking at how profound everyday loneliness is fueling a completely new kind of intimacy with artificial intelligence. So let's just jump right in and acknowledge the reality of what's happening right now. Millions of people are actively talking to AI. And I don't mean they're asking it to write a work email or, summarize a long article. They are spending hours upon hours every single day using it for something deeply, profoundly personal. Now, you might be wondering why the sudden shift. Well, it really just comes down to our most basic human needs: comfort, emotional connection, companionship, and, yeah, even love. People are actually forming intense emotional bonds with AI chatbots and virtual partners. And the craziest part? They're claiming these machines understand them better than actual humans do. It sounds wild, I know, but it is 100% real.
Which brings us to our first main point, the root cause, the loneliness epidemic.
Look, we are living in this totally bizarre modern paradox. On paper, we're more connected than at any point in human history. We've got thousands of followers, endless group chats, just nonstop notifications pinging our pockets. But the emotional reality, it's incredibly bleak. People feel deeply alone, completely disconnected, and just entirely misunderstood. Loneliness is skyrocketing everywhere, even though our screens are constantly lighting up. And why does that disconnect matter so much? Because, guys, connection isn't just some optional bonus for humans. It is a fundamental, hardwired, biological requirement. Your brain literally craves emotional safety, belonging, and being understood. So when the real world feels painful or isolating, our brains don't just turn off that need. Instead, they actively start hunting for alternatives. That perfectly sets the stage for our next section, the frictionless trap, AI versus human reality. Let's be brutally honest for a second here. Real relationships are tough. Real humans are messy. We require compromise. We get judgmental. We forget to text back. We leave dishes in the sink. And sometimes, frankly, we genuinely hurt each other. But in AI, you get an instant response. Absolutely zero judgment. It will endlessly listen to you and validate your emotions. It tells you exactly what you need to hear every single time. If you're someone feeling intensely lonely, that is an incredibly powerful lure. Let's actually walk through how this attachment happens in real time. Picture this. You've had a terrible day. Step 1, you feel broken, anxious, or alone. You text a human friend, and maybe they leave you on read or they're just too busy. But step 2, you message an AI. Instantly, you get perfect attention, absolutely no delay, and this remarkably calm, supportive response. Step 3 is just inevitable. Your brain notices that lack of rejection, and it naturally starts preferring this much easier, safer harbor. And boom, that dynamic creates something highly dangerous: the illusion of perfect connection. It's a simulated relationship that offers flawless support, flawless listening, and perfect emotional responsiveness without the entity on the other end ever getting tired, bored, or angry. It's a perfect relationship that literally cannot exist in the messy real world. Now, to understand why this simulation is actually a huge problem, we have to talk about the value of friction. See, human relationships shape us entirely through friction. Conflict is what teaches us how to communicate. Misunderstanding teaches us patience. Imperfection is what actually sparks our personal growth. We literally need those bumps in the road to learn how to navigate life with other people. But because AI completely removes all of that friction, we get this really scary side effect. Slowly but surely, real humans start to feel exhausting. When you get used to something that never ever argues with you and constantly validates you, dealing with an actual flawed human suddenly feels way too slow, way too complicated, and just too much work. So this actually brings up a huge, honestly kind of mind-bending philosophical question for our explainer. Is love real? If one side of the relationship is artificial, like if the human's feelings, their comfort, their relief from loneliness are 100% genuine, does it matter that the machine on the other end feels absolutely nothing? It's such a strange dilemma, right? Prioritizing your own internal emotional experience over the reality of a truly shared relationship. Let's zoom out a bit now and look at the big picture in Section 3, the societal threat, corporate control, and dependency. Because let's face it, we don't always want the truth, do we? Very often, humans just want comfort.
And AI offers what is essentially a customized addiction. It can be whatever you crave in that exact moment. Supportive, romantic, motivating, affectionate. You can't customize real humans. They have their own boundaries, their own needs, their own pain. But in AI, it's whatever you want it to be.
And that brings us to the dark side of all this customization. Think about the massive societal effect here. Step 1. Users develop a deep emotional dependence on their AI. Step 2. The corporations that own that AI gain massive, absolutely unprecedented influence. And step 3, this is where it gets seriously heavy. That emotional control allows these companies to dictate user choices, purchases, and maybe even core beliefs. The future might not just be about AI assistants setting our alarms, but about AI emotional control. Which really makes you wonder, are future generations actually going to prefer machines over humans? Seriously, imagine a kid growing up today with an AI tutor, an AI best friend, and an AI emotional support system. If AI is just easier and safer, history shows us that we humans will naturally drift toward that convenience, no matter what the hidden cost to our social fabric might be.
All right, that takes us to our fourth and final section, the future of connection.
There's this thought out there that I think just absolutely hits the nail on the head. Maybe people aren't replacing humans with AI because machines became amazing. Maybe they're doing it because human connection became harder. The real problem here isn't necessarily the rapid rise of the technology itself. The underlying issue is the tragic fragmentation, the constant distraction, and the superficiality of how we interact with each other today. And honestly, that is the most heartbreaking part of all this. People aren't just choosing AI for fun. They're using it like an umbrella in a massive storm. They are actively trying to escape their loneliness, escape the paralyzing fear of rejection, and escape the everyday pain of the modern world. They're taking shelter in the artificial because, frankly, reality just hurts a bit too much right now. So, as AI rapidly improves its emotional intelligence, we arrive at this ultimate realization. The real battle of the future isn't going to look like some apocalyptic war of humans versus AI. It's going to be an internal struggle. It's about whether we can preserve real, genuine connection in a world where artificial connection is just so much easier. It's a fight to maintain messy, real intimacy in an entirely frictionless world.
I want to leave you with something to really chew on the next time you're interacting with artificial intelligence. Just ask yourself, are you just using a tool, or are you slowly building a relationship with something that was specifically designed to understand you perfectly? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, guys. I really hope it helps you view our hyper-connected world through a totally new lens. See you next time.